The software industry has the second highest R&D expenditure after the pharma and biotechnology industry. More than 11% of the net sales are spent in R&D in the software industry. This is only superseded by the pharma industry with more than 15%. However, still a much higher share than the third industry in the ranking, the technology, hardware and equipment industry with 9%. For the pharma industry, the high R&D spend is simple to explain. On average, only 1 to 2 of every 10,000 invented substances will successfully become a marketable medicine. It seems that also in the software industry, a high failure rate can happen. Just think of the dot-com bubble, which crashed in the year 2000. Back in the 1990s, investors believed in the many ideas of the so-called dot-com startups, rated them very high, invested a lot of money. The dot-com startups built their business model based on the rapid growth of computer users getting access to the internet through the newly developed web browsers. During that time, in the 1990s, it was the time of the advent of the information age. However, apparently, not all investors were aware of the potential high failure rate in the software industry. Like a newly invented substance in the pharma industry, a newly invented software application has a significant probability that it never reaches marketability. In 2000, when the overheated venture capital and stock markets faced rising interest rates, the dot-com startups suddenly ran out of cash. Eventually, this resulted in the shutdown of many dot-com companies, with their stocks losing $5 trillion of market capitalization and the Nasdaq 100 dropping by 78%. Probably the crash of the dot-com bubble was the beginning of a historic market consolidation in the software industry, which resulted in the nowadays market-dominant technology companies such as Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. The quality of the software product is a key attribute to achieve user adoption and to capture a significant market share. Customers assess the value of software based on the compatibility with complementary products, degree of adoption in the market, usability, and innovations. Especially for operating systems, the availability of complementary software application and the degree of adoption in the market is extremely important. Potential users will only buy an operating system if software applications are also available. It is trivial to say that there is a very low value for an operating system which does not have applications available. At the same time, software companies will only invest in developing a product for an operating system if the operating system has a large user base, because the user base is one limiting factor of the market size. In economics, this is called the network effect. The network effect results in users getting more and more value from a product as more users use the same product, leading to a positive feedback loop. Another totally different example which benefits from network effects are credit cards. The higher the number of credit card holders is, the more merchants are attracted to use credit cards as a payment method. Also, vice versa, a growing number of merchants with credit cards as a payment method can attract more cardholders. You can ask an AI chatbot for more example with network effects. Network effects can lead to a high concentration of market share with only a few competing companies remaining. Especially for operating systems, this high concentration can be seen in our real-life economy. For desktop computers, the market is dominated by Microsoft Windows with about 75% market share, only followed by Apple's Mac OS with around 15% and Linux, as well as Google's Chrome OS around 3 to 4% each. For smartphones, the market concentration is also very high, with 70% or more market share owned by Google's Android and the remaining owned by Apple's iOS. Due to those network effects, a first mover advantage in software industry can be observed. The software company to first reach a critical mass of customers can reach high growth rates, with the competition may never catch up to. On the contrary, there are also examples for very successful second movers or so-called fast followers. Those are companies which manage to even provide a superior product than the first mover, such as Amazon, which was not the first online bookstore when launched in 1995. Some software companies try to improve their market position by increasing switching costs and making use of so-called switching barriers. This can lead to very gross strategies of software companies, such as making it as hard as possible to uninstall a software product from the computer or device. I am sure some of us have experienced at least once a software application which seemed to be impossible to uninstall. There's a very popular example in the domain of antivirus software with a very famous founder. I leave it to you to judge on such business practices. In our Capitalism Lab session today, we will be the second mover or fast follower in the operating system market. Despite investing a lot into R&D to improve the quality of our operating system, the value will be significantly improved by increasing the number of applications available and the number of users. To boost the number of available applications, our corporation will build some of them by itself, and hopefully soon competitors will add their application based on our operating system. Secondly, our corporation employs a very important business model in the internet industry, which is called the platform business model. We will build an e-commerce platform as well as a search engine. Capitalism Lab simulates our real-life economy. Starting your own corporation, you can apply and try out business strategies which you can see with well-known companies in real life. The Digital Age DLC adds specific mechanisms of the technology industry to the game. With the digital DLC, software companies are added to the simulation, as well as internet companies, e-commerce, and the telecom business are introduced. Research and development get even more difficult in the digital DLC with the new talent system. To successfully execute R&D and advance in product technology, talents must be recruited and retained by your corporation. Now, let's start the game. This is the main menu of the game. Today we will load the game of the last session. In the last session, we launched a technology corporation already selling their own produced desktop computers, printers, and mobile phones in their computer stores in total 4 cities. We have, as part of the environment, we have one city, Detroit, with almost 3 million inhabitants, and 3 more cities, Stuttgart, Prague, and Lisboa, with below 2 million inhabitants, with an average real wage rate of 70, despite Prague with 58. Our production line for the 3 products lie here in Stuttgart, and we import the semi-products and input materials we need from a seaport nearby. For a technology company, it's very important to manage and control the supply chain. And what we see here, for example, is that we run short in stock for CPUs. To avoid that this gets a bottleneck very soon, we definitely need to solve this issue. We'll look at this in a few minutes. At the same time, let's simply check. In all the 4 cities, we have computer stores set up to sell our products, and we see that in most cities the demand is higher than the supply, so a good market position. However, we also see that for desktop computers, competitors are showing up and trying to get their share in the market, which we probably will not avoid. CPUs are produced here in Detroit. And here we have one factory producing CPUs, so we will extend it to a second factory when we received enough cash from our profits. Our company is already profitable. We have an operating revenue of almost 50 million US dollars. And you also see our R&D expense with 4 million US dollars is very close to the 10 or 11% we already saw in the software industry. We are making profit of more than 6 million in the last month. So we will soon have enough cash to build a second factory and extend on CPU production so that we solve the bottleneck. At the same time, in the city of, not sure actually, yeah, in the city of Lisboa, we have set up R&D centers to improve in our internet industry firms. Yeah, we have an e-commerce firm and we have a search engine, and those are being worked on in Lisboa, as well as improving and inventing more devices to add to our technology product portfolio. The rest of the software companies we have already set up are sitting here in Stuttgart near our headquarters. Those software companies are working on our operating system. Yeah, they need some time until the operating system is completed. As we can see in the digital guide, before we can launch an operating system, we need a required technology level of 30. And as you can see here in all the three categories of required technologies for programming, developing, and selling an operating system, it must reach 30, but we have not reached 30 yet. That's why those software companies need another 6 months until they will finish this. Afterwards, for another few months, the operating system will be programmed, and from there we can sell it into the market. In a simulation of Capitalism Lab with the Digital Age DLC, you will, in most cases, I think it's always the case, you will have right from the start a competitor already having an operating system available. This is in our case Star OS, and we can see here in the operating system info tab that it has a user base of already 70,000, more than 70,000 users. It's installed on desktop computers, which has a user base of almost 1,900,000 at the moment, but very few apps available. Yeah, and this is actually not the best market position at the moment, but I'm sure that this will improve a lot over time. So a small user base, no apps. Consumers will rate this product not very high, but since they are the only competitor and only provider of an operating system, still I think they will be making profits. For us, it will take some time. We need to generate some more profits until we can actually sell our own operating system. And meanwhile, we will manage our technology company, the part of selling hardware goods, very well, so that we generate the profits and the cash, so that in the end we can go the long path and long route of bringing an operating system to success, overtaking as fast follower the already existing Star OS and even developing some applications on it. For our industry firms, e-commerce is already working. We sell the desktop computer in our e-commerce company, and we have a search engine set up. However, since the technology level is not enough as required tech is 10, total tech is 0 in our case, it still takes some time until we can generate profits with this search engine. So now let's first check for the price level, if we can increase due to high product rating to increase our income. And then earn some cash to solve the bottleneck of CPUs. You must be careful with desktop PCs. There will be throwing up a very tight competition very, very soon. That's why we have already R&D set up for it. Here. increasing prices a little bit to improve in our margin and earn more money. We go now directly to Detroit and then move on with the simulation for a couple of days until we have enough cash to extend our production, to double the production capacity available for CPUs so that we solve our bottleneck, because this bottleneck will soon lead to problems and even higher problems, gaps between demand and supply. We will make use of a nice feature of Capitalism Lab. You can here for a factory just duplicate the firm, set it just as is next to it. Let's see how it starts working and produces CPUs. Here it is. First CPU is already ready. We will provide them, of course, to our warehouse to distribute it to our production sites in Stuttgart. Yeah, there it is. We have one notification here. The R&D of desktop computers is complete, so we have a much higher technology level of 86 already. This is good. This will improve our value of our product and improve our market position, of course. And we can probably generate higher profits. Good. Let's continue with our simulation. And every time when we have enough cash on our bank account to extend our production, our portfolio, our sales points, and so on, we will do this until our software is ready to be sold to our customers. Still, the company and the researchers are working on it. Now also R&D on printer is completed. This is also good. Will even improve the value of our product. We will, in a few weeks or months, we will again look for if the price is still good. Let's check when the CPUs, yeah, situation improved a little bit. Stock is increasing. Let's check for mobile phones. There the demand is much higher. For desktop PCs, we have already some stored, so the demand is fine. And for printers, still also demand is much higher. Maybe next step would be to extend in the production in mobile phones. Yeah, I think now is the time where we can afford this. Take this mobile phone firm, duplicate it, set it here next. Next to our warehouse. Connect also this one. Let's see how it flows into the warehouse. Yeah, this is working. We can also try to sell it over e-commerce. Let's first check for the prices. What is a good price? Average price. Please always keep in mind that products over e-commerce are sold with one price in all cities. Yeah, so we don't have a price per city, but one price for all the cities over our e-commerce firm, and we need to set a price which is good enough for all the cities. So here's our mobile phone. Look at the product details. So in Stuttgart, it's, yeah, in Prague, it's very low. All other cities around 200. Maybe we put 190. Okay, good. If there's enough in stock, then they will sell it also. The R&D of mobile phone. It's also completed. This is also good. So in a few weeks, we can check in all of our stores. Yeah. Let's complete the months. And congratulations to one of our competitors invented the camcorder. Good, but not our product class, so we are not so concerned. We have now 15 million almost $60 million on our bank account. Let's first check for the prices. The desktop computer, it can still increase a little bit. For our printers, high technology rating. Also for our mobile phone. And let's go into all of these stores and increase so we earn more cash to prepare for launching our operating system. Desktop computer, it can still be a little bit increased. So this one. In Detroit. We see here that demand for mobile phones is much higher than what we can supply at the moment. Sales units are working almost with full capacity. How about printers? Similar situation, and desktop PCs. Also similar situation, so we can establish a second store in Detroit. It will probably work. Let's first check for prices. The higher the value, the more we can also increase the price. And this one we had already. Okay, good. So we have different options now. We can, let's check for mobile phones. Yeah, we see that the supply bar goes to the right. For desktop PCs, it's fine. For printers, still, we are not keeping up with the demand. Before investing in another selling point, we should probably simply duplicate the firm and add 1/3 printer production capacity. It is yeah, this worked. Also here, let's check for e-commerce for the price. This computer, printer, 200, 170. Yeah, 170 is probably a good price. Attractive price to boost sales. Good. Then next step would be Detroit to add another selling point. We see how we get more profits now, 50 million. Probably this is the right point in time and enough money to set up a second store here in Detroit. Detroit, why do we do this? Detroit has the highest number of inhabitants, almost 3 million. So it's a large market, more than the other cities. They can probably, 2 computer stores can sell even more. Let's find a good selling point. 27, 30, this is good. Besides it, 20. We will set it up here. We will again duplicate the firm. Okay, it led to a negative. Okay, This was too expensive actually. We need to borrow some money from the bank to compensate the 1.6 million. Yeah, like this. We will pay back immediately, of course. Yeah, it's just to solve this one issue. We see how demand quickly rises. Yeah, and purchasing continues. Good. So let's pay back the money. This was unexpected. Repay, no loans anymore. No, let's earn money. What we can do is also look into opportunities for vertical integration. We are currently importing electronic components over the seaport. And the electronic components come with a price of $5. Probably we can produce them with less than $5. And also improve in the production technology so that we have a higher quality. Electronic components are in most of our technology products, so it makes sense to vertically integrate, take the profit, improve the technology, and have a competitive advantage over the market, which probably all the rest of the companies will import electronic components from seaports. So we need silicon, steel, and chemical materials. I think all of this, despite chemical materials, silicon, steel is already for the production available to us, and chemical minerals we will find in a different port. Yeah. Let's check. This is DVD and paper. We'll need this later for our packaged software product. Nope. Let's check in a different city. Nope. No chemical minerals here. No chemical minerals here. Chemical minerals. Here we have them. We will set up a warehouse just next to it, like this, to have a buffer. Distribute from here to all of our production sites. Yes, we will now go back to Stuttgart and set up. I think we need to just wait until we have some more cash. Oh. And set up a large factory to produce electronic devices. We need steel, we need silicon, we need chemical minerals. Let's set up the following layout. We will link to chemical minerals, to steel, and to silicon. We'll produce electronic components. There they are. Now we need a little bit of more cash to have another warehouse. Let's continue with our simulation. Small steps we take here. Now let's build a warehouse next to it. Input, storage. output. Reduce the price we pay in our owned supply chain for this. Now here they are. Also reduce this price. Now stop purchasing electronic devices. Link to our warehouse for now. Quality rating of 42. Yeah, okay, this worked. And also invest into research and development. As you can see here, this is not fully logical. Electronic components are a semi-product, so we need to find talents who will improve our electronic components. This looks good in Detroit, actually. Detroit is the right city. We have already here an R&D center. We'll build the next one. We will need talents for research development for semi-products, hire all. Start R&D, electronic components for 1 year. So this should be better. And now something happened. What we were looking for very much is our research and development for the computer operating system is ready. And we now reached in all of the 3 required technologies a level which is above what is needed. And this is core, display, and input. And now we can, the first time in the life of our corporation, on 3rd of July 1991, we can now start developing and programming the operating system as we own and know the technology now. And for this, we will reduce R&D in one of our software companies. The lowest impact is coming from OS input. This is the OS input. We'll disconnect. We will change to project management and project programming. Link it. We will hire a skilled program manager and program developer and develop a new software product. New software product will be the computer operating system for desktop computers. We will call the software product LPOS. And now it takes 6 months until the software product is ready to be sold. We will meanwhile extend the research and development to 1 year to have bigger steps. In the technology, in advancing in the technology. Yeah, I think that's it. So now we are 1 step closer to the operating system. Let's see how the competitor is developing. So for Star OS, we already have the second version. You see here a yellow line, and we have a user base of 300K users. So it improved a lot. We have already applications available. The quality improved a little bit. The desktop computer user base increased. Let's see what products we have. Antivirus and video editor product. Okay, not bad. Let's see if we can compete against that with our own operating system in 6 months' time. And now we see that our production capacity is actually exceeding the demand. Yeah, our situation improved a lot. Let's check in the stores. I'll leave this. It's all well above, overrating is well above 100, so this is actually very high. We'll just leave it everywhere like this. And now we will wait until either we have a new technology invented, this will come soon, the notebook for example, or we will extend our production line somewhere else. I think soon we will have invented the laptop. We are working on the camera phone, which seems to be 77%, already quite far. And not here. I think also not in Prague, but in Lisboa. Here, we are inventing the notebook. This takes not even 5 months anymore until we can launch our notebook, selling notebooks. Okay, meanwhile, we will simply generate cash and wait a little bit. We will need a lot of cash because we will sell our own new operating system. At the same time, we will set up a production line and selling points for our notebook. Meanwhile, congratulations to one of our competitors inventing the game console. This could be interesting for us too, but let's now stick to our communication devices and to our computer devices. We can sell them in a computer store. And for handhelds, gaming handhelds or game consoles, those are sold in toy stores. So we need to set up a new brand for the product class. We will set up a new selling point just for those. This might be interesting in a later stage, but for now we will leave it like that and later use the cash to set up our notebook. And software pipeline. So we have now the CPU, already good target technology of 100, 135 in the next iteration. This is good, this will improve our products here. Yeah, we now reach we now have more production capacity than demand. You see this here. But still our storage is not completely full. Let's simply leave it like that. In Detroit, still the demand for the desktop PC is much higher. And actually what we can sell for printers and mobile phones, it's not the case, not at all the case. Especially printers, this is quite bad, but let's just continue. We'll leave it for now. It's in Prague. Now What came first is the camera phone. We now have a camera phone invented, and we can set up the supply chain and the production facilities for camera phones and sell them in our own stores. Please always be aware, if you invent new products, sometimes it can be the case that those are substitutions of older products. For example, the camera phone could capture some of the market size of mobile phones because people will switch from mobile phones to camera phones. So always be aware that when you invent new products, sell them on the market, that old products might not be asked so much by the customers, and the capacity you need to produce to satisfy the market can be reduced and costs can be saved. So now we have the camera phone invented. We will, of course, still invest into improving our product as a very low production technology of only 30 now. We need CCDs, we need electronic components and plastic. Those two we have. CCDs we are not producing yet. We need silicon. So let's first build in Detroit. Despite producing CPUs, we will also produce now CCDs for our camera phone. Silicon. There it is. Production costs only 1 cent. Now, of course, set up a warehouse to distribute CCDs. To our production line for camera phones. We reduce the internal price because we want to have the flexibility to work with the margin and the selling point. So we need lower prices upfront and the backwards into the supply chain. Since we are producing our own CCDs, we also want to improve the production technology. As you can see, for CCDs, production technology is 95% of the overall technology product quality of the CCD. And the share is also 15% for the camera phone, so I think it makes sense. And the CCD is a semi-product. So again, we will look for talents who can improve our CCD. Yeah, Lisboa I think is fine. Go to Lisboa now. Here, set up another production facility, another research facility. Maybe here. Like this, hire talents. And work on for 1 year on CCDs. That's it. Now we can go to Stuttgart and add the factory. Producing a camera phone. We need plastic, electronic components, and CCD, if I'm not mistaken. That's better double check before we start buying the wrong stuff. need more CCDs. We need electronic components. And plastic. There's our camera phone. The very new product on the market. We are the first to enter the market with a camera phone, so the price can be freely chosen. It will be around 300 and will take some time until customers identify this as an interesting product for them. We will see this in our stores very soon, that it takes a while until demand increases. Not sure if this is properly working here. Somehow it's not shifting into the storage. Now, and another good news, we also have now the notebook available. Very good, but still, let's first conclude setting up the camera phone. I think we can do this in parallel. What do we need for the laptop? Let's quickly check. For the notebook computer now invented, also very new product. CPU, electronic components, plastic, something we can definitely do in Stuttgart. So first a warehouse, of course, again for the camera phone. Here it is. Reduce the internal price to have more margin in the selling points. Higher flexibility to set prices. Now another factory. Maybe here. Set up notebook. Production. We need CPUs. We need electronic components. And plastic. Takes a while until the first one is price around 500. First one is produced. Let's build a warehouse next to it to acquire, store in a buffer, and distribute the laptop. It's not yet in a warehouse. Here it is. Just arrived, brand new notebooks in our warehouse. Okay, great. So CPU is definitely still an issue. Just thinking of adding another factory to produce CPUs. not really catching up with the demand. Duplicate firm. Hopefully this will resolve the bottleneck. Yes. Next good news. So a lot of research and development happening in our company. We have a video game console now available. We invented the technology. We decided that we will not go into this business now because toy stores, new brand, and so on, a lot of investments, not so many synergies. Let's also invent the handheld console. Why not? So maybe later it will be interesting field for us and we can actually go into it. So this is resolved now. So now we will set up a new selling point. We have camera phones and notebooks now available to also sell in our own computer stores in the cities. Let's find a good selling point. Here it is 27. 33. So first of all, our camera phone. And then also the laptop, the notebook. There it is. This is our notebook. 700. Probably a little bit pricey. Camera phone. 100 can also be a little bit pricey. So what you see here, the interesting thing is that there is no local distributor to sell the camera phone. We are the very first ones on the market. So all of the market belongs to us. We are setting the prices in the cities and selling to our price. And we hope that soon our customers, potential customers, are aware, they are aware actually, and buy this brand new product. For laptops already, demand is exceeding greatly. So now let's go to Prague. I think we need to wait until we earn some cash to invest into another store. Needs around 10 to 15 million depending on the land costs. One thing we need to look into. In Detroit, I saw that still desktop computers, we have higher demand than we can sell in the market. So maybe in our new, we add another floor, which is, by the way, introduced by the subsidiary DLC into the base game. So you need the subsidiary DLC to also have multiple floors. And hopefully this will now satisfy in Detroit the demand for desktop computers. Now we have 18 million. This should be enough for City of Prague. Also setting up a retail store to sell our new products. 39 is good. $51 is even better. Camera phone first. And notebook second. Let's check what's, the rest is fine. Let's now wait until it arrives. There it is, our first notebook. reduce a little bit the price to attract more customers in very, very short time. Like this. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, we have our first customers. This works. So in this now we need to monitor. Yeah, it can be that customers will switch from mobile phone to camera phone, and this will reduce our demand for mobile phones, older version. Let's see. Let's first check in the next city. Also add here when we have enough money. But before we do so, we will check what happened. We have a new notification here, and now it gets interesting. We will also look into the industry business we set. And our technology for core search tech was completed. The research and development for image search tech was completed. And the technology research and development for e-commerce was completed, as well as for e-commerce UI. Good. This means we can go into Stuttgart and check how it will influence our platforms. We are selling, by the way, already in e-commerce, desktop mini printer, mobile phone. Very good. Investing also into new features so that we increase the reach. We also now have, the first time, we have the option to build our search engine. The technology is now high enough, so that we can actually run a search engine by ourselves. The search engine, remember, this is a two-sided business model. So on one side, we have the users of the search engine, which will not pay for our service. And on this other side, we will have the companies to use the search engine to advertise. And now we have, again, a network effect. The more users we will have on our search engine, no more corporations will be interested in buying ad space in our search engine. We will invest a lot into features so that we very soon have a higher reach than 1%. We'll leave this as standard setting. And for marketing, we will not do marketing for our search engine, but what we can do is we can already instruct our own e-commerce store to put advertisement on our search engine. Like this. Let's see how it goes. Okay, great. Now let's wait until we have enough money to build also the computer stores in Stuttgart and another city. I forgot which one. Yeah, this looks good. Should be fine now. Look for a good place to set up the computer store. 30, 18, 21. Let's set it up here. The second floor will, as always, sell the notebook computer, and on the first floor we will sell the camera phone. It seems like camera phone, it takes a while until this is probably too pricey. And you see here, for a new product, newly invented, no competitors, the market share is immediately almost 100% with us. Notebook seems such high demand that doesn't get delivered to our store here. Let's wait for a while. Not coming. A little bit too pricey. Let's set a little bit below that. Good. I think that's great. R&D of desktop computer is complete. Good. Yeah, this will be something which will be a cash cow for us for the next month and years, I guess. So we have here already, this we have 2 stores in Prague and Lisboa, only 1 store. Okay, let's wait until we have the money to buy a second computer store. No space here, unfortunately. 48, 18. I think this is a great space. Oh, not enough cash. Okay, waiting a little bit. Now we have it. We will sell laptops, notebooks, if we have enough, and of course camera phones, where we still have enough to sell. Yeah, let's set a good price. A bit lower to attract as many customers as possible in very short time. R&D of printer is complete. Yeah, that's fine. Improves our technology and value of our product. It keeps away our competitors who will probably also produce printers in a while. What we see here is that the demand for notebook computers is much higher. So let's wait a little bit until we have enough cash. Also check if our operating system is already available. So everything happening in the same time. We have it available. We have our operating system. Zero, user base 0. Why? Because we are not selling it. We have it, but not selling it. Apps availability also 0. Quality 34. Let's compare to StarOS. StarOS has quality 1 point higher, but already a reasonable user base. Not too bad. Half of what is possible with users of desktop computers and notebook computers. So it's really time that we will now sell our operating system. And what we can also see here, let's check again. What we see here is an interesting phenomenon, which is normal in the software industry, of course. We see that after a new release, this is a yellow line here, the demand reduces. Yeah, so with a new release, people get attracted, want to buy it, and after a while it gets old and no one wants to have it. So now it's actually a good point in time to introduce a new operating system into the market before the next iteration of StarOS comes onto the market with higher quality, and then will take away our customers and they will probably switch to them. So let's do this very, very quickly. We probably need a little bit of cash. We will borrow this from a bank. It will not be a lot. So first of all, where is it? Here. First of all, there are 2 different ways of selling an operating system or a software product in Capitalism Lab with a digital HDLC to the customers. We can provide it as download through our e-commerce website, or provide it as a packaged DVD in physical stores, or also send via e-commerce, ship directly to the customers. We will set an attractive price, of course. To enter the market, this is called penetration pricing. With a lower price than the competitor, we try to get customers attracted to our product and capture market share from the competitor. So this is now the e-commerce selling price for downloads. And now what do we need to have a packaged DVD for our operating system? We need to first get the materials for a DVD and a box. Yeah, and this is just a paper and a DVD, and together we can, in a factory, put software on the DVD and then sell it. This is exactly what we'll do, and this is very easy to set up. We will, first of all, let's start with a small factory. Probably the demand will not be too high too soon. If it's too small, then we can still we can first of all, in warehouse we don't have enough cash. Let's borrow from the bank. We don't have time. We need to get customers buying our product before our competitor moves on with the higher quality and shifts away demand from us. Let's take 60 million. First of all, I always set up a warehouse to have some kind of buffer. From what is shipped overseas. This is paper and DVDs. There it is. Price is fine. And now a small factory. Here. And here it's a very easy setup for software. We can just press this button, the software button. Produce packaged software for LPOS. Here it is. We can link to ourselves. From our warehouse. LPOS is already produced. Here it is. From here, we will provide it for $50 to a warehouse. And now we will do something different than before. We will not store the operating system in the warehouse. We will directly distribute. Why not storing it? Because an operating system will have short iterations of new versions. And if you have a new version, no one will buy the old version anymore. If you store a lot of the old version and it's blocking your supply chain because you're still trying to sell the old version and the new version cannot be running through the supply chain, you will simply lose money and there's no need for storing the old version. So this time, we will therefore just connect an input to an output. This is our operating system, and not store it, to not have a huge storage full of DVDs with an old version later on. So now, yeah, I think this is not correct. We will reduce this to 25 in the factory. We will reduce this to 50 because in the stores we will sell it for 75. This will be our product price. Okay, from here we can also sell it via e-commerce. We will sell it via e-commerce for 75. Confirm. Okay, and now we will go to our computer stores and sell it in the computer stores. For example, here in Stuttgart, we have space, one more floor we can add. Let's not be too optimistic. We will first of all only sell it with one purchasing unit and two sales units. We will be not taking two highest pace, right? So warehouse, this is US. Selling it for $75. Let's see if this works. Yeah, So some customers bought it. Great. And let's do this now in all of the cities. Going to Detroit now. I think in Detroit we need a new. Yeah, let's set up a new store. A new computer store. Let's find a location. 27, 21, 15, 15, 18. Let's put it here. There it is. 75, great. This works, and I see that. Let's simply stay with this one. And we see already that here the demand is very, very high. Let's monitor later on. We have the city of Prague. Where's our second computer store? Here it is. We have still space here. Per base sale and advertisement. Computer OS. It is 75. Yeah, this works. And Lisboa, we will do the same. Purchasing sales units, one purchase unit usually, rule of thumb, can link it into 2 sales units. Yeah. Yeah, now it works. So let's see how it goes. I think we have now in all of the cities, we have this set up. We are selling our computer OS. If we check already in the software overview here, we see that we have now 2. One is Star OS still being available with version 2, quality of 35, and ours with 34. Already user base 6,000. Let's see how this goes. But unfortunately, no applications. This is something we need to solve now. So while our operating system is sold first time. So actually we are now a software company, a real software company. Our CMO wants more money. Yeah, I think we agreed to these terms. Yeah, it also seems that despite having only small facilities, it's fine for now. But we can deliver enough. Yeah, so it seems to be fine for now. Please remember, for software, there's an initial peak in demand and then it goes down after a while very quickly. So investing into huge production lines, this does not always make sense. So now we will go back and now also work on applications for operating system. As operating system is finally available, we can now also develop software for it. And we will look what we can do. So for most of the software, we don't have the required technology. You see this here, big red crosses for most of it, despite for utility. So for all of these 3 product types of utility software, we are able to already now, with the knowledge of the technology, directly produce it backup, diagnostic, and file compressor, and we will directly engage in it and develop those software products on top of our operating system. Backup, diagnostic, file compressor. Utility software, we need utility tech, and for each software a specific software specific technology. So this means we have some synergies in this product class with utility tech. Let's first check where utility tech talents are located, the best ones. Detroit or Lisboa. Oh, let's go to Detroit. Now we go to Detroit. We will establish a digital age software company. Set it up. Probably here. It's cheaper. Not really. A little bit this way. And first of all, utility tech. For utility tech, we simply require as many talents as possible. Utility tech, hire all, start R&D for 1 year to improve. And then we will first of all go into backup software. Back again to Stuttgart, see where these talents are. Technology, backup tech. Again, Detroit. What about diagnostic? I think also Detroit. And file compression. We might go to Lisboa, right? File compression, Lisboa. Let's set up a software company, this time a little bit different. We will this time use this layout here. We will, for file compression, start R&D. File compressor software. Okay, and now we have to decide if we develop this for Star operating system or LP operating system. Normally, we would always decide for the operating system we trust, which has a higher user base and will be developed better and have a higher quality and sustain the user base or grow the user base. This is the market size for our application. But since we are building our own operating system and pushing into the market, and we want to make it more attractive and convince more potential customers to buy our operating system, we need applications on our operating system. How do we get to applications? If we develop it for our operating system, that's why we choose to develop for the LP OS, LP compressor. And now it takes 6 months to get it. Meanwhile, mobile phone was completed. Yeah, it's fine. Now the rest we said we will do in Detroit, but let's double check. View talents, technology, backup. Definitely Detroit. Utility tech. Again, this layout. Backup technology, hire all, start R&D. We will always set the software product new versions, lifecycle of the software product, develop new versions to automatically. Here we will have a lot of software products, and whenever we reach to a higher technology through our research and development, a new version will be developed, and we want to have this managed automatically. Otherwise, we will forget, right? New software product. This time, backup software, LP OS. Right. So And now go back to Stuttgart and check for the last one. It's not backup. The last one is diagnostic. Again, Detroit. Good. Digital Age software company. Put it here. This one. Diagnostic. Start R&D. First hire someone. New product. Backup. File compressor we have. Diagnostic still available. Yes, there we are. 6 months from here. Good. So now, soon we will have 3 software applications we can sell on top of our operating system. So, as you know, it's very important to manage the supply chains in a technology company. We'll check whether I see that for CCTs we are fine, but for CPUs it seems like we still run into bottlenecks. We'll add another one. So even increase production capacity for CPUs. And also let's check in the city of Stuttgart. So laptops, notebooks, we need more capacity. For camera phones, I think it's fine. For electronic components, we have an issue. We also need to, we have overlooked this, that we need more electronic components. And we need still we have much stored in the buffer. This is great. But here we need to also duplicate. Then we are running out of cache. Notebook. Where is it? Here. This. Add another. Let's close the month. And then after this month, look into our nice balance sheet and income statement. Now we have the 1st April of 1992. We built a technology and software company, also invest a little bit into the internet industry, and let's check how our business is going. So in our income statement, we see we have an operating revenue of more than 100 million in last month, which is a good figure. We are investing in R&D, but not as much as I would have imagined we invest. So it's 5% of our operating revenue. Operating expenses are 77 million, and this means an operating profit of more than 30 million. This is really good for the lifetime. It's more than 300 million. So we are already close to what we have invested initially with 500 million from the starting capital, but also keep in mind we have some loans, which we will pay back, of course, after a while. If we look into our brand, for software still needs to be built. It's fine otherwise. For market dominance, rankings not so interesting for now. For the products, so we earn a lot of money with desktop computers, obviously. Second, mobile phone. Third, printer. Those we started initially 2 years back, so of course this works well. but also we generate revenue with all the other products. And I don't see software. Let's check here. For the StarOS, sales are going down rapidly, though having more apps available. This is potentially due to our new operating system we have introduced. So probably new customers are switching to our LPOS for now, but this will not stay forever. Since a new version will come up soon with a higher quality, we will have the same effect with us. Let's check whether we are able to produce enough. Yes, we are able to produce enough. See, though we have very small production capacity just to produce the DVDs and put the software on top of it, you don't need a lot. Yeah. Good. I think that's it for the minute. So we can do now wait for the application to complete and then sell them in our stores. Let's check whether everything is fine in our stores. Not so good. Laptops, for notebooks, I think. Let's check whether our mobile phone is still selling good. Probably we will decrease the production. Camera phone is good. Also check the other cities quickly. All fine in Detroit, Prague. Looks good. High demand for notebooks at the moment. And in Lisboa, also good. Okay, let's continue. We could add, but before we do so, we will first set up our software business accordingly. Could, of course, add more production capacity or even a new product class to our company. We have invented the game console and we are now inventing the handheld. Let's see, we can decide later if we will establish our toy store chain. Let's go to Stuttgart and see how our internet industry is working. So for our e-commerce, we are selling desktop printer, mobile phone, and LP. That's good. That's working. Even our downloads are now going up. For our search engine, we are now also profitable. We have a reach of 14% already. Yeah, I think this is all fine. Camera phones we are not selling online. We should change this. Let's check. For the price, 300. Yeah, 350 should be an attractive price. Reach more customers, not only selling in our stores, but also selling our product online. We have still a lot of capacity to also sell online. Yeah, e-commerce sales are a little bit increasing. Good. And soon I think we will run out of stock here. Let's see. not at the moment. For notebooks, still not enough. We will again invest into another factory to produce notebooks. Satisfy the demand. Hopefully. This. So for notebooks, let's check for good price to sell online. $580. This should be good. Please be aware that e-commerce sale will only start after all of the stores received the notebooks according to their demand. So as long as demand from the stores is higher than the supply, e-commerce sale will not go up. We will now take our money and pay back our debt, all of it at once. So no interest rates, just cash. Great. While this is, let's check utility tag. So it's still takes a little bit of time until we have all of our new software products applications available. Something was completed. Computer OS core. This is great. So now we improve the technology of our operating system. This means that soon we will develop the new version of our operating system. This takes 6 months from now. And this will iterate on a new version, which we can sell and will increase our sales, I'm sure. Display, input. Yeah, they already started to develop the new version with quality 61 in 6 months. Electronic components, okay, good. Let's check how it is. We have StarOS with a quality of 46 now, 7 apps available and just released a new version. Yeah, and this will boost their sales a lot and they will have a higher user base. We are only with 170K. Let's see if we can increase this. We are pushing a lot of new devices into the market, so the market size grows, and this means that we can get some of the share, though we don't have, for now, a new version. Products running on this, none, so something to definitely improve. Let's always check that in the city of Stuttgart. Yeah, we are still producing enough DVDs. Yeah, this still takes a while. Maybe there's an opportunity to increase capacity first time since long time. We are now CPUs almost fine. How about CCDs is fine, and the rest is also fine. Yeah, no issues here. And in Stuttgart, we said that we want to check whether we can reduce production capacity. For printers, doesn't seem to be the case. For desktop computer, doesn't seem to be the case. For mobile phones, at the moment, doesn't seem to be the case, but soon, yeah, I see here for this factory that this will probably have lower utilization rate soon. Yeah, we could increase revenue by selling online, I think. For electronic components, everything is fine. Someone producing just next to our factories, game console, okay. Good for the notebook computer. Still not catching up with the demand. Let's take the risk and duplicate the firm again. Push more devices into the market. Link to the factory. Here it is. Yeah, this works. Good. More money coming in. Yeah, a little bit impatient. This is the technology. Impatient to receive the software product finally. Let's just simply see and watch how we earn money. It will soon invest into stores and factories to produce the DVDs. Only a little bit left. Let's see. There it is. We have it. We have a backup software. Let's check here in the overview. We have now backup software, diagnostic software, and file compressor, our own developed utility products with a technology level of 29. Not the best, but anyway. StarOS does not have them utility at all. As you can see, they increased sales after the new version a lot. Yeah, increased the user base of 1.2 million now, but we can also still growing, right? Not too bad. And now let's first of all make sure that we sell online via download. We'll again go to $75. I don't understand for backup software. Yeah, maybe $75 someone will pay. This is just utility tech. This is diagnostic. But for a file compressor in the real world, of course, we will use freeware the most of the time. But in this game, simulation, there's no freeware at the moment, at least. This could be this could actually be an interesting scenario to try out, to give developed software for free to boost application availability and sales of it. But I think we will not try it. It's too expensive for now. And I think one was in Lisboa, right? One branch. Yeah, file compression. So in half a year, we will have higher technology level. Then from there, 6 months more. So 1 year from now, we will have a even better product. File compression, it seems, is usually not sold at such high price. Let's see, 50. Okay. Now go back to Stuttgart. Here we have DVDs and paper. And we will the same as for our operating system. We will now set up 3 small factories. One for file compressor. One for backup. And another one for diagnostic. There it is. We'll sell to a warehouse for $25. Okay, just 30. Okay. I think our e-commerce price is too high. It's 50. Let's set to 30. like this. Great. Go back here. So we still have space in our warehouse for 3 more DVDs, packaged software products, backup. It's not easy to find. Diagnostic, file compression. Here it is. Let's set the price. Directly sell online. It's already ticked. So now we will go into our cities and set this into the windows of our store. Yeah. So not enough space, right? Let's see where we get it from. Backup. Diagnostic. $75. This is fine. For selling notebook. Camera phone. Interestingly, here we see that the sales of mobile phones and desktop PCs go down. Either it's competition. It's competition, it seems, or it is substitution. For the mobile phone, it's probably substitution. So let's reduce here. Stop purchasing. Wait a little bit until the stock gets empty. Now turns red. Now link to something else. File compression. Wait until the mobile phone stock is sold out. Here it is. Sell for 30. Great. Let's see if this goes. Yeah, people buying. Great. Good. Now go to the other cities. Detroit here. Purchase, sale, purchase, sales. This for backup. This for file compression. Another floor. This for diagnostic. Yeah, this works. Also in the city of Prague, we will do the same. This one for file compression. This one for backup. So notebook, camera phone. Desktop PC. Crazy. It seems like we have a very, very hard competition here. We will now reduce the number of purchasing and selling units for printers and use this to sell. What was it? We're selling here backup and file compression diagnostic. Link to diagnostic. Yeah, this one. Clear stock. Good. CPU is good. It helps us to improve the quality of our desktop PC, so maybe we can save our market share. This one we have. Prague. Yes. But it's not available yet here. High compression. Backup. Actually, we need to open a new store. Just for diagnostic. Anyway, we'll do this. New computer store. It's too big. 18. Not very attractive. 27. Yeah, let's go here. Yeah, that's great. CCD also improved. Good. Okay, I think we are now selling this in all cities. Our applications are sold. Let's see if our supply chain is working. So for all, we have enough available. That's fine. And now let's look into the performance of our operating system and of our applications. So for the operating system, and we saw that adding applications increases, though we are still on the old version, increases already sales for Star OS, much ahead of us. Just released a new version, but already demand is declining. Having more products running for now. Antivirus, internet security, video editor, video player. Let's check what we can do. So video software seems to be antivirus. What I find very interesting is Office software. I think that Office software is something which has a high demand. It's Office software actually is used by everyone. And we have 4 product types in this category. So maybe we simply invest in everything to build an Office software package for our operating system. Let's set up 5 software companies. First of all, Office features and then all of the others. We first need to, let's see, require 10, 20, 20, 20. Okay, let's see how fast we can get this done. Office features. Go to Stuttgart, where we have our headquarters. And view where we find the talents. There are not many. Yeah, let's see. I'm not willing to waste the highest skilled talents into office features, actually. Let's stay in Stuttgart. Only 6. We need to go to Lisboa. Okay, not many talents available at the moment. Probably too early to develop such a product. 1992, but still we will do this. Maybe others are already working on this and hired talents of this domain. I think I did an error. Never mind. 1 year it will take. Okay. Yeah, I did an error. We will stop this. There's a chance that we get it in only 6. Only in 6 months. Let's check again. Office features. Prague is better place. Let's check if we get it in 6 months. No, I think we don't have any software company here. Not at all. Let's replace one here. Higher office features. Start R&D. No, not possible. Okay, then it takes 1 year for office features. And now let's also check the other. We also need Word processing. Lisboa is the place to go. Now again, set up a software company. And spreadsheet. It's a little bit of micromanagement now. Now let's look for talents for developing spreadsheet technology. Seems to be something which is good in Detroit. Yeah, let's go to Detroit. Add another software firm. This will cost, of course, a lot of money now. And we need to manage our technology cells very well so that they fund what we will develop here. Spreadsheet, technology, hire all, start R&D, 1 year. Good. Then we want presentation. View talents. Presentation technology. Lisboa again. Software company. Presentation, hire all, start R&D, 1 year. Good. And database software. View the talents. for database technology. It's not too bad. Stuttgart. Let's again go to Lisboa. Good place to start software companies. Database. Good. So now it will take 1 year until we have the required technology, and then another 6 months to develop the application. So it's long circle. Actually, we earned a lot of money already. We have more than 100 million cash on our bank account. We have a very well running business. Let's quickly investigate before we close this session. I think we already proved and showed and presented to you how we will start a software business successfully. At the same time, we have not reached the highest market share yet, but I think this is a matter of time, with the strategy to evolve, to win the battle of operating systems against the StarOS. Operating revenue more than 100, operating expenses below this, operating profit is beyond 40. R&D expend, of course,